Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Wolfie barked right away. Listen to the sounds of the flowing water. Hope you don't have to go to the bathroom, because that's not going to make that situation any easier. But yeah, let's, I think we can break out here. Just careful, careful, careful. I know this place was a little bit sketchy. Oh, there's that torch. I can reclaim it. Yoink. That was like the most lazy yoink ever. It should be like yoink. Yeah, let's grab Wolfie. East, west. This way is west. Let's continue on in this episode 236 of Farlands or Bust. You know what? People have always recommended that I attempt to scale mountains like this with water. Although, honestly, this actually isn't as straight of a drop as I anticipated. Well, okay, Wolfie, careful. You pushed me. No, no! Right in front of my face. Good job, good job. I was gonna say, I was about to go down with water, but it really wasn't a straight cliff face. I don't know how safe that is for Wolfie. He might just spawn at the bottom when I land, but I guess we don't get to find out today. We're just going to continue in a westward direction. But yeah, Farlands or Bust, we're still obviously, I mean, gosh, guys, why would you even ask? We're still raising money for Child's Play charity. I don't know why it was in my inventory just then, but I was looking for something. Still raising money for Child's Play charity. Still doing good stuff like that. You guys are, like I said, mostly. People ask me, do you ever donate to Child's Play charity? Of course I do. I tested out the new widgets for Child's Play to make sure that they worked. Let's do this, and then do that, and then do this, and then do that again, and pick this up, and then pick these up. Inventory management 101 from Kurt. But yeah, we're still raising money for Child's Play charity. Yes, I donate to Child's Play charity every once and again to get the ball rolling when we start new seasons, or when we switch from the chip-in widget. I gave a couple, and I remember I rounded up to make sure it was whatever it was, 20,820 or something like that, or 18,820, whatever, to make funny references in the numbers. So yes, I do donate to Child's Play charity myself, but it's mostly thanks to you guys. This is your fundraiser. It's all thanks to the Farlanders. Over the past 2 years, we've raised in total over $100,000 for Child's Play charity. And this season, we are at, there you go, we are at $22,817. So we've tacked on more than another $200 since the last episode. That's great. Great, great, great. Keep doing that at farlandsorbust.com using the chipple. Words. The official Child's Play charity widget on the homepage there. And you'll donate through, it'll take you to PayPal, and you'll donate through PayPal. All those funds go directly to Child's Play charity. I never touch a cent of it. It goes directly to Child's Play charity. And even, you don't need a PayPal account. I know I get some people worried about that. You don't need a PayPal account. You can, that's just the method they receive their electronic internet funds via. You can use credit card account or anything like that, so I appreciate it. And Child's Play charity you can learn more about at childsplaycharity.org. They get toys, books, games, video games to hospitals and children's hospitals around the world for kids to use when they're in there for whatever reason, long-term, short-term. It's always good. They have little, not tutorials, tutorials. What's the word I'm looking for? The word I'm looking for. People give... now I'm stuck on tutorials. Dang it. They give... ooh. This is strange. I've never really seen... It's like somebody's been here before. Oh gosh, it's a skeleton spawner. Run away! Run away. Run away. Okay. Skeleton spawners are dangerous things because if a skeleton shoots me, Wolfie automatically starts to attack the skeleton and then puts him in danger because then the skeleton starts shooting at him. So I like to avoid skeleton spawners at all costs, especially surprise ones like that. That was really weird though, how there was a single... It's like somebody dug to it. We are not alone. We are not alone in the far lands of Westward. No, we are. What was I trying to say? There are, on the Child's Play Charity website, there are, it's something tutorials, isn't it? People give stories of their experiences with Child's Play Charity as recipients to the charitable things, kids in hospitals, even if they were just in for a couple days for this or that or the other, or maybe they have, oh, look at this go. Let's race the waterfall down. No, Batman. I don't know why I sang Batman. Batman. Waterfall. Oh, I think I just heard Wolfie take damage. Wolfie! Let's have you spawn. Wolfie! There he is. Woof! There we go. Anyway, story. What is the word I'm looking for? This is like, I think I may have hit my head or something and forgotten vocabulary. Anyway, they give stories about how it has helped them out, whether or not they're in it for a couple days, or maybe the kid has something terrible like cancer or some other long-term illness where they spend a lot of time in a hospital, or even in situations where there are kids there, say their parents or their guardians have to be in long-term care, and that requires the kids to be there, and you know, visiting family for long periods of times, and to take their minds off of the fact that they're there for whatever unfortunate reason their parents or guardians have to be there. They have access to these toys, books, and video games thanks to Child's Play Charity. So anyway, the point of the matter is it's a good cause to get behind, and I'm very, very happy to have been supporting it and having chosen Child's Play Charity as our charity to support through Far Lands or Bust. Right, Wolfie? Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. Pants. Indeed. Woof, there we go. What is the... Oh, man, that's going to bother me if I don't get that by the end of the episode. Not editorial, not tutorial. I'm giving... see, now it's probably not even a tutorial name. Oh, wow. Don't you love when that happens? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, I have an episode to record here, Kurt. You've wasted an entire day in Far Lands or Bust trying to remember a word, getting a throat gargle. That really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think I've gotten my point across, and we can continue on. I do have quite a few questions. Like I said, I've started to take questions to answer in these episodes. Along with your donations, there's a little comment field that you can leave behind with a donation through the official Child's Play Charity widget. But we'll get to those in a minute. I guess for those of you who might not be around in the afternoons or the mornings or the earlier than when Far Lands or Bust goes up, I had a video go up a few hours ago, a new video game. I have decided to take the plunge and play Euro Truck Simulator 2. I've been looking for racing games and have been very disappointed in the lack of enjoyable or accurate simulator racing games. So I'm going to get use out of my racing wheel somehow, and Euro Truck Simulator is that somehow, and the way I'm going to do that. And I made mention, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, I don't really watch that many other people's Let's Plays of Euro Truck Simulator, but I think most of the people I have watched either still just use the keyboard or a controller. So as far as I am concerned, or am aware, I'm the only one right now using an actual wheel and pedal setup, which I don't know that really is any advantageous. It might actually be disadvantageous because the game then is a little bit more realistic and the trucks are a little bit more difficult to control as they are in real life. But who knows? Fun game, very interesting. I think the most interesting part is me trying to get a handle on the European road signs and roundabouts and driving on the left side of the road and all that stuff. But yeah, check that out. I'll put a link to it in the end slate of this video, and I'll appreciate your feedback on that. I know it's not my normal fare, but should be fun, I think. Should be fun. Let's go to sleep. And a roundabout confusionness. Indeed. Sorry, this kind of tower over here is very interesting. It reminds me a little bit of that little plateau that we saw at the 699-492 monument. Although much smaller. This is pretty crazy. It's like a skyscraper. That would actually be kind of a cool use out of this to, like, instead of having to worry about building your own skyscraper, hello creeper, you just kind of mold this into what you want it to be. Cool. Yeah, pretty neat. Woo! Sorry, I'm taking a moment to appreciate the scenery. It's Creeper Tower, as it was being guarded at the base by a single creeper. Could almost turn that into some sort of the Lord of the Rings thing, whatever the tower of, what's his name? Sauron or whatever. Is that what that was called? I don't know if it was called the Tower of Sauron, or I'm sure it had some sort of specific name. Wolfie, you have a pig on your face. Oh, there we go. Wolfie, you have a pig on your face. Woof. He knew. He knew. But yeah, continuing on. I don't, try to think. Whoops, excuse me. I have a few things on my mind, I guess. Like I mentioned, just went through and in the United States and a lot of places, paid my taxes. It's tax time. I believe there's a little bit of an extension this year because the 15th is actually a bank holiday. So, but I got them in and away and sorted. And the main problem I had with my taxes this year is, being as last year was the first year I really... Hi, another skeleton, jeez. I really decided to go gung-ho, and full-fledged doing full-time YouTube. You're technically self-employed at that point. But nobody informed me that with that, whoops, you actually had to pay your taxes quarterly when doing that. And it's also a little bit weird because I only really started making what I would consider full-time money halfway through the year, about May or June of that last year. And so on and so forth. But, so yeah, that was a little bit of a problem. I was just putting money away into savings, thinking, okay, a lot of this is just going to go to paying taxes at the end of the year, and that'll be sorted. But no, they expect you, they'd want you, it makes sense, whatever, but I'm not complaining. I guess what I am complaining about is the lack of resources or upfront information saying, like, hey, you're self-employed, perhaps you should know this already about paying your quarterly taxes, even though nobody has told you. And it's kind of, it goes back, I started to think, I could complain even further, and these are just my opinions, which is something very dangerous to share on the internet, I know, because there's going to be so many other people with much louder voices who might express their opposing opinions, because that is what the internet was made for, was it not? Caps-locked comments and whatnot. So it goes back, I could even imagine it going back to school. I remember in high school, it was a requirement to take economics or something like that. I mean, it almost was kind of a how to live as an adult class, because they talked about a little bit about taxes, a little bit about mortgages and home buying and car buying and loans and things like that, and how it worked with personal economics, I guess, jobs, interviews, things like that. But it really, obviously, way back in high school, that was over, for me, 12 years ago. How am I supposed to remember any of that stuff? But I mean, even through college, maybe there should have been more of that. But overall, it seems like the public school system, in America anyway, it doesn't really set up anybody with the mindset that they could possibly ever be self-employed. The whole system, and this goes back to even the Industrial Revolution. You know, before the Industrial Revolution, schooling really, for the most part, took place in the home, or you were just trained by your parents or your family to then take up the family business or whatever skill or trade after that. You know, your dad's a farmer, you're going to become a farmer and inherit his farm when you grow up. So there's no really reason for you to go to school to learn how to be XYZ something else, or a shoemaker or a banker or, you know, whatever. So with the Industrial Revolution, the public school system came around to train workers. They weren't training people to be entrepreneurs or run their own business or anything like that. Schools came into wide acceptance to train the workers that would then, you know, be the assembly line, the eventual office, you know, paper shufflers, and you know, that's where the middle class, I guess, came from. Again, I haven't read any books or economic studies on this. This is just where a little bit of my frustration came from, and that I felt that I feel very lucky to be self-employed. I feel very, I guess lucky. Sure, lucky, very happy. I'm very appreciative of the fact that I'm able to be self-employed. That you guys, the fans of Far Lands or Bust, and my other Let's Play series and all the guys on the Mindcrack server, who we all try to lift each other up and make sure we're all successful and everything like that. I definitely, you know, I'm not complaining about that part of it, but just going up through school, you know, that's, nobody ever told me that, I guess. And maybe I went to the wrong schools, maybe I took the wrong classes or had the wrong teachers, whatever. But it all seemed like a setup, if you will, a conspiracy. No, it's not a conspiracy, but just a setup that, you know, these institutions are just training you to be employed at XYZ company, you know, because they need employment. And I even heard this, and I don't get too political. Ooh, gotta do this. I don't really get too political. Again, arguments on the internet. But a lot of times in politics and even our current president, Obama, I'm a little bit disappointed in some of the language they use. Say in like the State of the Unions or their campaign trail stuff. They're like, we need to increase education, blah, 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 to train our workers. That's kind of the phrase I always hear them say. We need to invest in better universities. We need to invest in bringing up, you know, math, science, literacy and scores in public schools, because we need to train the next generation of our workers. And it's kind of, while some people might take that as, yeah, that's a good thing, and sure, it's a good thing, education is always a good thing, but yeah, it's a good thing, but just the language of saying, for our workers, makes it sound like that's kind of the upper class selling it to the other upper class people, saying, we should invest in schools, or else we're not going to have people to be employed underneath us, or something like that. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but sometimes these episodes work out when I ramble. So I just take that, not to offense, but just, it's something I've been pondering. I don't have a conclusion, I don't have any way to solve that or anything like that, other than maybe for those of you, I know a lot of young people watch my show, maybe if you're going through school and you're not really getting the vibe that the school is teaching you, that maybe at some point you could be yourself self-employed, or you're going to make your own living, or be a contractor or whatever, maybe you should look into that. I know the job outlook in these days and age isn't all that bright and sunny, because a lot of these larger corporations are downsizing in order to upsize their own profits, and sure, you could say some of them are using the recession, which has actually been over for a couple of years. They're using the recession as an excuse to downsize. But you know, maybe that should be a little bit more of an obvious choice if you're going through school, is to, okay, I like doing this. I'm in this coursework. Maybe this is my major, but I really like doing this. And perhaps there isn't a sunny outlook of getting employed by a company to do what I love doing. Maybe I should explore what is required for me to just do it on my own. It certainly takes a lot more effort, obviously, and stuff like that, but maybe you should educate yourself in such simple things as, oh, if you do that, then you have to pay quarterly taxes, and then you're not surprised at the end of the year because now you're going to get a penalty of some description because nobody informed you of such a thing. So, a little bit of I wouldn't call that a rant. Would you call that a rant? I guess I'll leave that up to the people listening, whether or not that was a rant. But just, these are the thoughts that were on my mind. I know a lot of you, I don't have too much interesting going on from day to day. I don't have like, today I went to the grocery store and this happened. You know, I don't have real life stories. I just have the stories of things that have been stewing in my brain. So just a little thought of the day. I'm sure is going to spark some good and bad discussion in the comments just because YouTube. But anyway, in the morning we'll get back to answering some actual interesting questions. Careful, Wolfie. What the hell are you doing up there? Hi. Stop. Stop. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go to sleep before he kills himself. And awakeness. And a crazy dog jumping off trees. What? How did you even get up there? He walked all the way over here and then just walked across all these trees. You giant gluten-free noodle. Anyway, getting to some questions that you guys asked from donators. An anonymous donator asked, Kurt, do you wear a watch or do you just use the clock function on your phone? I do wear a watch. I've always weared watches. And skipped English class, apparently. I've always worn watches, and I honestly, it's one of those things that I've just done for such a long time that if I forget to wear my watch or I don't have my watch on, then I feel a little bit naked. So I wear my watch on my wrist, I suppose I should specify. Not literally naked, but yeah, I've always worn watches. It's, I own an analog watch. Well, I guess it's a, quartz watch or whatever, so not technically analog. I don't own, like, nice watches or anything like that. After I graduated high school, my grandparents wanted to get me, like, a nice present, and they said, pick something out that's nice. So whoa! Careful, Wolfie. Wherever you're at. Oh, yep, he took damage. Ah, Wolfie. Oh my gosh. We're all taking damage here today. Far Lands of Bust. They asked me to pick out like a nice something or other as a graduation gift from high school, and I got one of these, a nice automatic pilot's watch. I don't wear it anymore. It just gets kind of big. It's not quite my style. But I still own it. But yeah, that's probably the only quote-unquote nice watch that I own. But I just own a Timex thing, and I have... So I got a few comments on the 25,000 subscriber special, the building the Lego space shuttle, because I usually replace the watch band. I have the nylon, what are known as NATO watch straps, which you can exchange in and out. They're just a little bit more casual, and they're not like the leather or the metal watch band or anything like that. So yeah, I just wear a standard watch. I don't really. I know it's probably been over a year since I got a new phone. It's my first smartphone. I've never owned a smartphone before then, but I rarely, even as a smartphone, use my phone. I'll maybe use the alarm every now and again if I say, okay, I should get up early tomorrow or something like that because I'm afraid I'm going to sleep in or something like that. But no, I don't really use my phone to check the time or anything like that. I sometimes just, if I go out, forget to bring my phone just because I'm not that attached to my phone like some people are. I never, hi. Apparently Wolfie is buoyant. I never, rarely, if ever, text. It's basically what I'm saying is it's a big waste of money. I'm paying $100 a month for this large phone that I barely ever use as a phone because I have a phone phobia, and I also barely ever use it as a smartphone or data service because I'm always at home and just have the internet on the computer at my fingertips anyway. So stories in frugal purchases that make total sense at the time, don't they? But yeah, wear a watch. Wear a watch. Another question from a donator, Kyle G, asked, what would you recommend for a first-time Scotch drinker? I suppose I have suggestions. I haven't had Scotch in a while, though. I remember a few episodes ago I kind of mentioned how I've just kind of stopped, just decided on a whim because it's kind of expensive. I have this phone I need to pay every month for. I can't go out and buy $60 bottles of Scotch all the time. Kind of expensive and kind of just, I don't know if I got just bored of it or something. But I haven't been buying Scotch or whiskeys lately. But if you want to try Scotch, I would probably recommend not going out and buying the expensive $80 to $60 bottle of Scotch. Just because you don't know if you're gonna like it, obviously, first of all. But then again, also you haven't really developed a palate for tasting Scotch and whatnot. I mean, I suppose if you could find some sort of event or bar or restaurant, that might be doing a I don't know, like a Scotch tasting or anything like that. There are some specialty Scotch bars, I guess, where you can get, different... Oh, Wolfie. You can get different tastings and whatever, events and stuff like that to try different scotches out and stuff like that. But I would probably recommend a cheaper bottle, probably just because it's so widely available. You could probably find it at your grocery store's liquor section or anything like that, is probably Johnny Walker. Probably I would recommend Johnny Walker Black. Red, which is the standard Johnny Walker, is a little bit less refined, and black kind of has, even though it is a blend, it's not a single malt Scotch, it kind of has a lot more of the similarities to a single malt Scotch that can kind of just get you into the introductory of it. The red label is a little bit... I mean, it's okay, and it probably works better even for, putting on ice, really, to be honest with you. But if you want to get into the actual, Scotch experience, I would probably recommend, for starters, to try Johnny Walker Black. I had it before, and I was decently surprised. I'm like, oh, that's not bad for however much, 25, 30 bucks for the bottle. For a blended Scotch. So that's what I would recommend. But I would also recommend, reading reviews and things like that, and checking out, other actual people who are experts on this stuff and seeing what they recommend for first-timers. Like I mentioned before, there's a channel on YouTube who I've subscribed to. It's Ralphie. I think it's Ralphie's Stuff is his actual channel URL. But he does whiskey reviews. I mean, he also goes out of his way. He recently did a thing on tea. Brewing tea and stuff like that. And he went about how tea is a very similar tasting experience, and there's a whole culture behind it, much like Scotch. He's also done tequilas, reviews on different tequilas. But his main thing is Scotch, and he reviews Scotch bottles. But a few of his videos are like, people obviously ask him these questions, like, what would you recommend for a beginner and stuff like that. So he has a few videos where he's like, okay, here's affordable, a few bottles that I can recommend, and he gives their tasting notes and what you can expect and stuff like that. And he even has what he calls the whiskey tasting masterclass, where he does video series on, like, okay, this is how the type of glass you want. Okay, this is what, the best way to actually enjoy tasting, and how much water to add, or the way to appreciate the aromas, stuff like that. It's you know, almost like wine tasting. Dang it, now I'm like starting to get interested in it again. Now you're gonna make me go out and buy another bottle. But anyway, yeah, Kyle G, thanks for your donation to Child's Play Charity, obviously, and also for your question. Drink responsibly. Woof, Wolfie agrees. Drinking responsibly gets the Wolfie seal of approval. What else we have going on here? The questions from just a YouTube comment. Forbrow asked, have you ever met Wheezy Waiter? He's a Chicago YouTuber who does vlogs and skits, but also has a gaming channel. All of us YouTubers do not know each other automatically. It's not like once you reach 100,000 subscribers that you're instantly introduced to everybody else. So no, I have never met Wheezy Waiter. I don't know where or what parts of Chicago he's from. But also I don't subscribe to his channel. I've glanced, I guess, at his channel before. I'm just not that much into those type of skit channels, vloggy channels. There's a few, like the Vlog Brothers and others, etc., that I kind of like. I guess I kind of like the vlog channels that are more open form and not so much, I guess, some of them can feel a little bit scripted, I guess I could say, and I'm not as big a fan of those. I kind of like vlog channels that are just actually the people talking as kind of a video journal, or, you know, just that's the real person you're hearing from. The kind of scripted or skits ones I'm not as big into, so I know he's a pretty big YouTuber, and he's from Chicago, yes, but don't really watch him, I'm afraid. But thank you for that question. I honestly didn't know he had a gaming channel, so maybe I'll have to check that out to see what kind of games he plays. Because gaming channels, I'm obviously a fan of. Oh, there goes that pickaxe. We are cleaning out the inventory. That's why my inventory space is so whack. Wickety wickety whack. Sorry, I wish to never do that again. It's because I have these extra iron implements that I made after having extra iron. Woof! Wolfie remembers. Indeed, but let's block ourselves into the oh my gosh, final hidey hole of the episode. Finey hiney ho. I'm going to remind you again to donate to Child's Play Charity at farlandsorbust.com. Keeps us going, and I'm very, very happy and a little bit surprised how, you know, normally sometimes from episode to episode we'll make one or two donations, a few dollars here and there, but we've really been ramping up the donations to Child's Play Charity. I appreciate it. I'm trying to think of something to do at 25%. I know I'm not much doing, obviously, I need to put down the workbench. I'm not much doing the 10% milestones anymore. I just fell behind in the last season, so I don't want to keep doing that and then end up just being behind. But 25% of the way to $100,000 is kind of a big deal, so maybe I'll think of something special to do when we reach that. But we're at 22.8% right now, so you'll have to keep giving to find out what that might be eventually. Woof. Woof indeed. Wolfie's excited to find out what that might be. I still don't know. I haven't decided. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Click like if you enjoyed this video. Share if you want to get more people involved and donating to Child's Play Charity, more Farlanders. I appreciate it. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.